Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to another Water Soluble Wednesday. Let's see, what are we doing today? So I'm a little thrown off about today's video because, as you guys know, on Monday we had the special release artist video collaboration that I did with Don, where we did the whole globe prompt. I'm going to be sure to link that so that you guys can go check it out if you want to. So it kind of threw me off my game because that is what I wanted to do for Water Soluble Wednesday. So I just decided today I was going to kind of play around, right? Do something, kind of practice on something that I feel like I need much more practice in the area of, and that's a loose style painting. Now my very first attempt in a loose style painting came with, I did that. What do you guys think of that? You guys tell me what you think of this. I don't know. It's a mixed media piece that I did earlier today. And I just used, it's watercolor and acrylic paint pens. If you guys interested in seeing it, let me know. I think I did record it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to post it. But I actually love the way that it came out. And it's growing on me more and more when I look at it. So let me know what you think. I'll post the video. But as far as today, this was the first time I attempted to do loose watercolor flowers. This was done in gouache, Turner gouache, back during Inktober, maybe? Can't really remember. But yeah, it was back during October, I think it was. So I kind of wanted to play off of this today. Now, most of you guys may not know, but I've been inspired by a lot of different people when it comes to loose watercolors. And of course, you guys know I speak all the time about Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, Chris Petrie. Both of those artists have a really big influence. I learn a lot from them as far as my regular, you know, landscape, still life. It's just my regular kind of everyday me painting style. But when it comes to loose florals, I kind of gravitate a little bit more to Christy Rice. There is Jean Haynes, whose book I have read. A watercolor flower or atmospheric flowers in watercolor. Wonderful book. I definitely suggest it. I'm saying all of that to say, that's what I did in today's video. I wanted to revisit trying to paint loose. And as I said, I used gouache here, so I wanted to use watercolor. And I painted this watercolor card using Shinhan PWC. Still testing those out. So this is sort of a flow feel test for that paint. I really wanted to see how they flowed and blend in wet and wet washes. So I decided to use that. And this is what I came up with. I painted a watercolor card, and then I painted a rose on the front of the envelope that goes with it. And I don't know, I feel like, you know, for a second attempt at painting loose flowers, it did not turn out too bad. Now, of course, if I wanted to do something detailed, of course, I feel like I would have pulled that off really well, but I wanted to challenge myself. And I want to continue to challenge myself and grow. And I would like to grow in the loose floral department. So I will be doing more of these. I wasn't sure if I was going to share it, but I decided after all, why not? So here's what we're painting. Hopefully you guys will pick up something on this that you like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So loose number 2, here we go. This is a Master's Touch 140-pound cold pressed cellulose ready cut watercolor card. Comes in a box. Get it from Hobby Lobby if you happen to be in there. But you can order ready cut watercolor cards off of Amazon. You can get them from Jerry's or from Blick. I do suggest that if you're going to get them, you might as well go ahead and go for the 100% cotton ones, just so you can get the best performance. But the cellulose ones work really well too, especially for when you're just kind of doing something practice-wise like I'm doing now. I started out with a more rosy color. I believe it's deep red from the PWC set, deep rose, I'm sorry. PV, oh, what is that pigment number for that? I think it is PV19 to be exact. That's what I used for the very first rose. For the second rose, I used PY83. I forget what the name of the exact color is. And then I'm using a neon, which is BR1. That's, I do believe, like a fluorescent, but I do believe that it went with the overall color scheme. Now I'm using a dagger brush, and basically what I'm doing is using the tip of that brush to put in the detail, which is the color of each rose in mass tone to do the shadows. And for the original layers, the watery layers, I was using the belly of the angle part of that dagger in order to shape my petals. These are techniques that I've picked up over time from different artists that I've watched. I'm much more of a detailed, kind of tight painter. So painting loose is a bit of a challenge for me. And so this is not going to be the greatest composition by any shape, form, or fashion, but I did want to share with you guys, kind of let you see my practice process, the things that I'll do in order to try to get the art that I'm venturing into to look acceptable, mainly to me, but definitely to the public that I'm presenting it to. So I filled in leaves around all of the roses in order to, kind of fill in the card. I was trying to fill up the composition. I'll be honest, I was kind of scared as I'm painting this. And that is a terrible feeling to have when you go into doing anything artistic. But that fear soon turned to me having fun once I decided to really let go and just, stop thinking about being so technical and just, paint the image of what I saw in my head, paint the shape, let the brush kind of do the work, let the paint flow. These paints did a really cool job of blending together. Now, I'll be honest, they do not have a lot of flow to them, which is something that I probably should take into consideration when I'm talking about doing loose florals. I should probably be working with a much more flowy paint. I'm not saying that they don't flow at all, they're just not super flowy. I could see myself using more like core watercolors in order to do loose floors moving forward. And that's something I may practice on for next time, you know. So I'm really just kind of dilly-dallying around in this, adding more shadow in. I gave the first layer time to dry so that the mass tone would stand out even more. And I went in and I put in more shadow into each of the roses, into the leaves. I even took some of that rose and kind of cover the edge of the leaves with it, because I knew the green and the rose would kind of neutralize each other out, and give me a really blendy color that would match and kind of harmonize with the rest of the picture. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the green that I used here was sap green. And in that PWC set, I do believe they used pigment PG8 for their sap green. They actually used different variations of one pigment to make many different colors throughout this set. And that's something we'll definitely concentrate on and talk about a little bit more once we get to the review of these paints. So I did a little splattering and splashing in the background in order to try to kind of fill in just a little bit more. I was pretty happy with the way it came out, considering the fact that I am not a loose painter. As you can see, I'm going in. See, I can't stop. There are several times when I feel like maybe I should have stopped. I think maybe I kind of overworked it a little bit. I lost some of the freshness that you're supposed to have with the loose floral. So I'm definitely learning. I'm learning. And as I look back at this video to do this voiceover, I'm thinking to myself, there were so many times when you should have stopped. It looked so much better being fresh. So I did overwork it a little bit, but the detailist in me really wanted to continue to add those shadows to really get it, that hard contrast between the lightest colors on my paper and the darkest shadows. And that just comes from painting landscapes and still lives on a regular basis. But I'm going to continue to push myself to think about it a little bit more so that I don't make mistakes like that moving forward whenever I attempt something loose. So of course this is a watercolor card. So I have a sentiment that was cut out in black mixed media paper using my brother's scan and cut machine. Now it is around Valentine's. So this could be used as a Valentine's Day card, or you could just use it for a regular anniversary card or whatever have you. It's really quick and easy. You can throw it together in absolutely no time. These loose floors are really quick to paint, especially these little roses that I did. Now I'm going to hit the ends of this card with some ink in order to just help it stand out a little bit more. And then I decided that the envelope needed to match. So I grabbed the envelope that's saying PV19 rosy color, and I'm going to throw a rose on the front of the envelope just so it matched the card. That's pretty much going to wrap it up. Throw in a couple of leaves, fill in that little corner. And I think it was really cute as a combination. Before I'm done, I'm going to actually take both of them after they dry and throw them in a bag to show you how I normally package my watercolor cards. And that'll pretty much wrap up what I did in order to accomplish this second attempt at painting loose floors. Shout out to all the loose floor artists out there that are great at this. I'm trying to get there. In the meantime, just keep painting and crafting.